that Bisquick in her.
Trying to make it all. Oh man.
Okay.
Well, thanks for this kid.
No, I'm just imagining the scene with the viscosity of this quick.
I'm out.
It's kind of terrifying.
High velocity Bisquick.
The Bisquick Bismarck.
The Deutschmark of Bisquick. Okay. So, last we left off on where you'd managed to bring out the 52 slaves of the walking city. And in my correction, they do speak Draconic and not Common. But I'll let my own mistake fly because you all have telepathy right now anyway. You can understand it.
Well, there goes the charging cord to that.
So,
Put that later.
after getting the slaves to the walking city and finding out that your demonic friend is not with you after the guards had come down with what seemed almost like some of the zombie form of beetle for transport with hollowed out metal, and the other ones that were alive were with the guards being used as central lookouts as they collected their people. After which you were brought upon to the walking city itself, and you could hear everyone whispering and talking and see everyone overjoyed to see missing family members returned. You see plenty of the guards that had come to greet you and thank you for returning so many lost citizens to them. Which at this point they asked you to at least accompany them so that they can give proper thanks, and so that one of their leaders can meet you. So,
Do we have time for a meet and greet, Argent?
Why are you asking me?
Just because you seem to keep on, the schedule, what we have planned.
Well, I don't think it should take too long because the daughter of the Queen of Sacrifice is going to get very angry.
Good times.
So let's make it quick.
So, you also know that the envoy will be sent out to the hidden lizardmen and gnolls, that they would need more slaves after the stock has been so thoroughly cleaned out.
Oh yes, we're supposed to be watching for that.
And we're also going to need to be warning them to stop making their people so easy to target. I suspect I know why, but... So where do you guys get the beetles? Are they naturally occurring? Do you farm them? They're like cows?
So, are you following their escort in through the city?
Yeah.
Alright. As you ask, like, just one of the common soldiers beside you, the city has mold that grows on it and collects from all the different arcane energies, and the beetles come from the caves below to feed on it. It keeps the golem clean, and we're able to use them peacefully.
Who designed this structure? It's interesting that you'd have a moving city.
Yes. built out of necessity years ago. The Red King was taking over all the lands, and, well, he couldn't take over something that was constantly moving.
I mean, he probably could. It'd probably just take a while.
Oh.
He could.
But yeah, good thinking. It seems to have worked for you.
Critical thinking, got you.
As you enter into one of the main promenades, you can see these beautiful, elegant designs, almost iridescent gold over the top domes that seem to cover over this building. You can feel the sway of the city moving with each movement of the Titanic form underneath you. It's almost feels akin to if you were on a ship.
Does somebody drive these walking cities? Like, do they control it like a wagon, or is it alive?
Life, no, it's fueled by our Lord's magic, and as for where it goes, is usually a sense of urgency.
So it controls itself?
As far as we know, yes. It's been
Another interesting choice.
it's been a very, very diligent and able to protect her. So, and entering in through the main room, you can see what seems to be more of a elegant design, and partially flaunts kind of money and noble, higher noble art hierarchy between the mixtures of different, what seems to be like a lapis lazuli floor, and the walls seem to be lined with different kinds of iridescent metals and stones between opals and pearls and such. As you are brought to this main hall for this meeting, you can see that in the midst this large entryway, very, very clear for a much more larger sized being. As the doors open up, though, you could see what looks at first glance to be a dragonborn. The scales in itself, very beautiful iridescent mixture of colors, seems to settle more on a shimmering shade of gold for the edges, where you could see that the iridescence doesn't show as much. But as he steps forth, you could see the robes covering down, very long silk and very, very, very vibrant colored clothing as he approaches. And as well as you could see on his side what seems to be almost like a great sword, but on the size of this person alone. As he gets closer, you realize he stands at an easy 8'9".
Whoa!
The memes are real.
Damn.
It's at this realization that he's so close now that you realize he's actually a half dragon.
Oh, fucking awesome.
As he waves out one claw for all of you to have a seat at the main court table. Please, I want to at least thank you properly with some gifts for returning so many citizens to us. I do have questions as to how you've come across so many.
And we have questions for you. as to how you have lost so many.
Definitely not by choice. But please, come.
I'll sit down.
So,
You're on the sit, but I don't have the rank of
Oh,
not appropriate, Valak. Think of Anakin Skywalker. Even when he was finally a Sith Master, he died.
he
Has he given his name yet, Josh?
Not yet. He's actually just.
What if his name is Anakin and I just...
You just totally fucked yourself.
The rank of master!
So, hold on while I pull this up and try to announce this really fucking over the top name.
Lord Farquaad.
We have been granted seats on his council table,
Yes.
but we do not receive the rank of councilman.
You are ambassadors.
No!
There we go.
Take a seat, ambassador.
I've placed myself to be as visually injuring as possible.
Like that.
So,
Put Puck like right there.
Oh, it's 20k.
Keep me away from your cancer.
as you all take a seat as he goes to the. It looks like he's about to go to the main chair, but he takes a seat in the one beside it.
Oh no.
Don't worry, I will put this out in the fucking chat for you. As he goes to sit down, my name is Faircax Niathand
Oh
Kurmuret.
no.
Well, at least I can pronounce the first part of his name.
It's a pleasure. I'm sure you know who we are by now.
Probably not. He's been on a walking city.
Why would he know Keshi?
Because we sent survivors to their city
I didn't
with
think
our
that.
names,
They
with
didn't
the
go
express
up, though.
purpose. What?
They didn't go up though, did they?
They just got.
I'm-
But he would.
No,
have,
the first group though, didn't they pick them up like weeks ago?
no.
It's been like 2 days. They were hanging out.
Yeah.
Dang, crap.
You guys were quick. You wasted.
We were only there for like 2 days.
Well, I guess that's a good point. Still, we should be.
But
Our name should be on the lips of every babe in the street.
But he does know your names as mentioned, the three that you had freed, and then all the others as well. At this, he gives a head nod to all of you. And, well, in reference to the loss of so many people, unfortunately, is due to the fact that our city has gotten quite overgrown at these days and age. There's only so much we can grow safely on the city, but we do require farms on the ground, and unfortunately, though we try to find fertile ground, there are points where we cannot be everywhere to protect our people as much as we try.
My lord, if I may be so bold, surely you have thought of bringing the fight to these snake people for taking your people from you.
Alas, we do sit at a stalemate. Though, this is why I wish to meet with you.
It is necessary to act, to move, to fight, and if necessary, to die. Neutrals have never dominated vents. They have always gone under the wheel. It is blood which moves the great wheels of history. Are your people blood? Or are you going to drive that wagon?
Oh, for many years, it was blood that did drive the wagon. I'm sure you've seen the twisted ways the old king's blood still affects these lands.
Yes, we've seen it firsthand, up close.
My father had managed to assist in the destruction of that king. Though unfortunately at that stage it had left many of his children and his over-granular wife ready to seize us at our throats if any action or course was taken against the great serpent lords. They knew one of them would fall, none would dare make a move, and no one was willing to be the sacrifice to fall under heel. So eventually we just reached a stalemate. We don't attack the Snake Lord's cities, they don't all fall upon us.
As I understand it, the nearby settlement is an outcast group. Rebels or outcasts, they could be easily destroyed with no reprisal.
That it could. But, unfortunately, they would still seek this as a reasoning to band together. Though they may be a bastardization, they are still a bastard of that group. But this is why I wish to speak with you, seeing how you are not from our city. We may be able to assist with the cutting of the head. I would imagine that's why you brought so many of our people back.
Yes, we're looking for allies to help us. They have they have killed some of our people, but taking them will be the next step.
They don't even know where our people are yet, though.
But we aim to prevent that. We look to the future. It's only a matter of time.
I must admit, as he kind of studies all of you and your equipment, you do seem very well equipped for the matters at hand, though very strange and different.
He was looking at me, wasn't he? That racist bastard.
Well, if you'd like a reference, do you have a map in here somewhere?
Of course. As he just kind of waves a claw, and you can see the other servants at the side as the other guards and attendants quickly move out, and they bring in what seems like a long scroll. They set out one side, anchor it with what looks like a bar of silver covered in iridescent opal.
This guy is just like, money!
And they roll it out over the table. And you can actually see that he has just about the entire region mapped out.
What a fucking...
Wow, this
Study it with my eyes so I might remember it.
Yeah. I must admit, some of this is a little outdated, but...
Outdated?
The kingdoms do remain in some glory, as he points to different pieces of the map. You could see the one in the center where the main king's throne was that you were recently. Still opulent and standing proud with beautiful gold radiance all around, with what seems like red embers for the mountain edges. You do take note that further beyond that mountain seems to be another city. It looks like there'll be giants pulling along different slabs and kind of marked off quarries. Further to the north, there seems to be a mixture of what seems like lizard folk, as well as what is clearly frost giants guarding what appears to be a lizard folk empress or emperor.
So we are from across this sea over here.
As you point down, you can see there is clearly markings of what used to be a city that seemed to be built upon the water in itself.
Oh wow! Yeah, I'd heard the previous city fell into the water.
There are some false truths to that.
Well, we're pretty sure we found out why it happens anyway, so that should be fixed. I feel that we could have a beneficial partnership between our two peoples, as we have control of a lot of more fertile land for creating food.
This would definitely be a much needed help amongst my people.
So your people can stop getting kidnapped by gnolls and lizardmen.
It would be nice as well to be able to take back the temple that is there. Galena had perverted it some time ago.
That would be, that was about to be phase 2 of our plan, but we came up with something a bit different. We are planning to roll in and cut the head off of the despot that now lived in the temple, but that seemed to be a less than ideal choice after we saw them. At least in our current state.
Yes.
Yes, even in her lesser powers, she is still quite a thorn.
But anyways, we were hoping that you could, when we're done here, send a envoy with us. We can, of course, guarantee their safety, but not let anything happen to them, so then they could meet our leaders and we could come to a conclusion that might benefit both of us. We do need allies in this new world. You're the first civilization we've met that didn't want to enslave us or decapitate us.
Well, we definitely have no slaves to speak of ourselves. We've been a proud free people, though we've been living on the brink for a while now. I think it would be a nice exchange to find another city. Nonetheless, I do have a good general that could meet with your leaders and come with a forthright plan, and also maybe assist with some of the defenses that you may not know you need to shore up.
I can only imagine. It's lucky that so far nobody's really noticed where we live. They consider the coast cursed, so they don't go near it.
Yes. A few others who have tried building there have had their own cities sunk into the sea.
As I said, we have a handle on that. At least we think we do.
As for our own plans, I must admit it's quite fortuitous to meet a group as able-bodied as yourselves.
So what do you have in mind? You said you had maybe some ideas on how you could indirectly help us in defeating these foes?
At night, it's very hard for any of Galena's boots to really keep eye. Though she does have 2 very hefty golems outside her temple entrance. They're easily distracted. Though, I will definitely say they are not wise to take on, but we can provide a distraction for you to get in. Once inside, you must be careful. Any of her pets have been lazing about at the closer entrances, but judging by yourselves, I would think you would be quite able-bodied to swiftly.
You can you can say it. We're urban.
Judging by your strange disposition.
Damn. Because I'm black and because she's green, you racist motherfucker.
I totally thought he was insinuating we sneak past. He's like, your group looks very sneaky.
But we know she lounges in the main temple grounds. There's a well there. If you eliminate her and go through,
We could escape through the well?
Yes.
So you're proposing we quite literally cut the head off the snake? She smiles. Keshi smiles big.
Exactly that. Though she will have some honor guard amongst her. She's quite paranoid in that factor. But the well's too dangerous to traverse upwards through the river, but the stream is strong enough to where you'll reach an opening and be able to catch your breath before it's too late.
We can also have some potions of water breathing handy.
We also have the caps of water breathing that I never sold that are in this bag right here, Kashi.
Ah, yes, perfect. Well, Faircax, if I am all for this plan.
We might want to wait a little bit before enacting it, though. We currently have an angry demon waiting to talk to us.
An angry demon?
We're associates with the Queen of Sacrifice's daughter. We just know her, we're not related in any way.
We're currently just amusing her so that she doesn't kill us.
One of her 60 children.
Wow, she had
Damn.
that many.
She's a thought.
I'm amazed we didn't run into any more.
It's very hard to remember them, I must say. The fact that you have managed to bump into one of them is a little unfortunate.
She hasn't been too bad so far.
It must be one of the lesser children.
I don't know how to tell the difference, I'm going to be honest.
If you had met one of the greater children, you would have found the entire city.
Okay, alright.
They have small cities, but cities nonetheless. Some that contain intimidating power, others with just very loyal and very diligent minions of old. A few warriors have fought some of these children. I could not say how many have remained of the 60, but the only amount that were ever truly known to be dead is about 5.
That doesn't sound very promising. We had intelligence to believe that there's the Blizzard people are going to send out a messenger soon. We were going to go capture them before we headed back. Is there anything you wanted to ask a in the know lizard person?
If it's one of the envoys, I would definitely enjoy having the knowledge of the caves they're staying at. That
Okay,
we
I'll
won't
put
have
that on.
issue for visiting ourselves.
I don't know if I can ask him to draw an accurate map of the cave, so maybe we'll just drop him off when we're done with him.
I'm sure one of my soldiers would be more than happy to wait for the delivery.
I'm a very good interrogator, but I don't torture and my powers only go so far.
I definitely have plenty of men who are eager to repay the favor.
I mean, you know, actually, yeah, they were enslaved. I don't really think it's weird that they want to torture the lizard men.
Yes. After what they've done to your people, it's no surprise.
In good respects, just from the amount of people you've brought, I would like to bestow at least one item of your request to you.
That is very generous of you. We would happily accept.
I don't even know what the hell I'd ask for.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Could be at 14th level.
Oh, shit.
Alright, well, give me a second. I'll just go look at Argent's level, 30 character sheet to see if there's anything on there. So, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you had a walking city?
Longer than I've been alive. My father helped create this.
Yeah, and one of the soldiers told me it moves itself. Is the city itself intelligent?
Well, it is one of the great guardians that helped seal away the Red King.
Wait, the city itself sealed the Red King?
They were used. This is one of the 8 Titans. These
Wow.
were made in desperation to seal the King's power. After which, a few of the other Titans unfortunately had fallen from the amount of power that was exerted. The others, well, swiftly had been controlled by the other factions and had disappeared from sight. We only know
Wait, I thought-
one of the other Titans far to the north, buried deep below the ice caps for safety and to make sure it's not used against the northern kingdoms.
Do you think we could go and dig that up?
The Empress of Ice wouldn't quite agree to that, but perhaps in later use for other plans, we might be able to send an envoy with you for discussion. Though there's also the danger of bringing up one of these great beings again, aside from the one that still walks around underneath us. It would definitely send many of the other cities into panic. They would think that maybe the northern cities could be rallying an army of great size.
Do you not keep up communications with the other cities?
Between the other cities, it's quite difficult. Some of the primordial lords of the Fangs have taken claim over so many pieces of the land. It's hard to discern which ones are friendly and which ones only seek to sit and purvey the fine goods they've collected.
I swear, no matter where you go, sentient creatures never change.
Now, once you have power, it's hard to let go of it. Though I would definitely say the Queen of the North would be a difficult one. Though she is more open to discussion due to loneliness and a very distinct lack of life among most of her subjects.
She's like a queen of the undead.
Most of her people died. Lizards do not survive well in the snow. She mastered her magics and became more of a lordess of the frost giants there. About the most living creature there these days, aside from the frost worms and ice worms. Though she does occasionally visit the lands around. She's not a complete recluse. She still travels to the other cities, paying respects. Many still fear her, though.
A bit less of a shut-in than the Queen of Sacrifice.
The Queen of Sacrifice has been spurned by everyone's hand. When her husband had been sent into his tomb, she quickly recoiled from everyone else's offerings and only sought out the most interesting of warriors instead of politics.
Yeah, she looked really lonely when we went and met her.
Challenge was really interesting. Weird. Different.
Yes.
Times.
She gets great amusement from finding some of the greatest champions she can and then using them to the fullest extent before their expenditure. She's played many a great war games over the years and gotten to quite a few cities to still quarrel with each other, though briefly. Her malice knows no ends, but nobody dare go to end her reign there. And also they fear that ending her may disturb the king from his imprisonment. So I believe there is a way to rid her from these lands.
I thought the king was dead. He's just asleep.
A primordial power like that is a very difficult thing to kill. We thought we killed him, in all honesty. Unfortunately, that seemed to have been a foolish dream, as the Queen herself seemingly intervened. Her power and his blood mixed with the all the sacrifices and old gods that he was trying to beckon. It left him being sustained upon the very blood that bleeds into this land. It's not very much alive, it's more of just being a terrible fissure of corruption.
Oh, it's like we're in Lord of the Rings.
But something else I wanted to ask you, I haven't exactly had too many people that know about the King's Blood that also didn't want to decapitate us. We met a lizard folk. He was friendly to us and he channeled what looked like the same thing as the King's Blood into a temple.
These are old.
Does that mean that it has good uses?
It definitely does. As much as that power has been used to corrupt and make disgusting abominations at times, even my people use it for healing and purification.
Yeah, that brings me to an additional point. Where do you get it?
There's still an old vein. Far from the king's castle. It's in the desert veins below. Though it's still dangerous to go down there, at times many insects have become quite changed near it from trying to feed on it constantly.
I have no desire to eat it. The queen taught me a particular ritual to fix the corruption, but no, one of the ingredients is the treasured amber.
It's still hard enough to make sure that we don't lose amber carvers, but for every time we lose a expedition, no, unfortunately, that's another carver gone.
Well, mental note to self, there's probably a bunch of carvers down in that mine.
Probably just sitting there, just waiting.
Yeah, I'd heard about that. That you needed a special tool to be able to carve it.
Yes, it's hardened amber itself. Life ebbing life. So, nonetheless, weaving these shards of amber have been quite empowering to many of our people. Though we definitely do not use it to fuel this titan in itself. Many of these constructs have been fueled by the magic power of the lords themselves of these lands. My father's power still flows through this one. Though having that much arcane power is quite draining, but if anyone else were to attempt to fuel such a construct, they would very likely die from the amount of exertion on their body alone.
That JPEG.
So, in the end, even if we were to dig up the one in the north, we would still need someone in equal power to bring it fully out of the ice. The Lordess is definitely one. That's why she has kept a tight grip on it. She knows if anyone were ever to match her in strength and arcane prowess, that she would probably have to rely on such a construct to win.
Good to know that arcane talent helps in driving them.
Writing that down amongst the notepad.
Writing that down and circling it 3 times. I guess that's all the questions that I have. You've really solved a lot of issues I've been thinking about.
I must ask, will people come from the ocean? How far is your land?
Well, it took us...
3?
We have a boat that travels several times faster than normal, and it took us 3 months to cross the sea, Velmac.
Pretty sure it was 3 months.
It's very far away. We had a boat that... Well, we stole a boat that goes much faster than any other boat. And it still took an incredibly long time.
It's a pity. I was hoping to at least be able to send some of my people there for safety.
Oh, it's not
You could
safe
send-
there.
You could send them over to live with our village. We have a lot of space and we're expanding.
Space is definitely one of the things we have a lot of, and we are working on making it more secure.
As long as your people don't have an issue working, we'd have no issue giving them a place to stay.
My people would be more than happy to work. It'd be better than sitting bored reading old texts on top of the Titan still.
Oh no, I wouldn't want that at all.
Do you hide your lady boner?
Yes.
Roll stealth.
How old are those books?
Probably as old as my father. Easily as far back as this construct is old.
What?
Alright, yeah, that doesn't change my level of thirst.
Whatever.
Open scroll, let me see your parchment.
Well, I honestly have no ideas for the item.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna throw down for, can I get a ring of dragons?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take that then.
Alright. So, upon that request, you would actually get a choice between three.
There's 3 of them?
Yeah. One is a what looks like an obsidian band with iridescent mixtures and colors. The other one is a pure gold, and then the other one seems to be entirely made of what seems like somehow alchemically mixed together gemstones.
I'll take the obsidian, it complements my complexion.
So you can summon a dragon once per day. That's pretty cool.
Dragon illusion. And I'm
But
very
people
good at
don't
illusions.
know that.
Mhm.
Dragon!
Well, I mainly want that because I also gain, line of sight telepathy to dragons, which could come in handy at any point.
Oh, Josh.
Yes.
Since this is a rare item,
Mm-hmm.
it should be like an image of that dude's father.
Oh yes, that's pretty much what it's going to be.
Yeah. He could say like his father made these rings or something back in the day.
Oh, yes.
He was very vain. It's his face on everything.
Yeah. He liked to look at himself and pleasure himself.
He wanted to make sure he could still see his goddamn body from every angle while jerking off.
I wish to abandon the quest.
Fuck! I'm so goddamn handsome.
A volcano opens up under you. Roll initiative. Volcano gets a natural 20. You're swallowed in magma. Take 60d60 damage.
What the fuck?
Oh god.
You cannot slay me.
Try me.
I am dank memes itself. Come on. Invade me.
I may.
Listen, I'm just trying to get a kid that I can give up.
Well, Lord Farax. So we kind of need to go and try to intercept that messenger before he leaves.
Understandable.
We wanted to get your people back here as fast as possible.
I'll be sure to have the guards drop you at a more relevant area where you will not be spotted, but should be close enough.
You know the cave where they come out of?
No, but I would imagine the messenger you would be expecting would be coming from the Pearled City itself.
Yes.
And by the way, did you build that construct yourself? As he points to Flora.
Oh no, Flora's completely sentient.
I found her in a box.
She was in a box. All along. She just doesn't talk much.
It wasn't a very comfortable box.
My former partner, she used to collect weird things.
Oh yes, partner.
Yes. Partner.
Bring me.
Now, if she has any more of you, I would definitely be interested in...
Oh no, we're not. We no longer speak to her. It's weird. It's gone separate ways.
She's the person we stole the boat from. We're not on exactly great terms.
I
No.
see. I see.
I hope she's dead.
Didn't you say that she was alive?
Yeah, I know, but that was a while ago. So
Maybe she's dead.
Yeah.
maybe luck has favored us and she's dead.
She doesn't even know where we are.
I don't know.
Just one scry spell away.
She can scry us and be like, "Oh, look, there's somewhere."
Pretty much.
Just like, where the fuck is this?
What the
There's so much sand.
It goes from like... oh my god. Sand nibbers.
There's people with sniper rifles.
I will be sure to send an envoy after we settle the few other issues with Galena's city first. As for the daughter, I would prefer to kill her, but I would not want to send a small army at her.
If I remember right, our good friend did challenge her recently.
Yes.
She killed a Red King's guard, or whatever they're called. She's pretty powerful.
She managed to kill that thing.
He's dead now.
There's been many reports on that one. I'm actually a little unnerved at that prospect.
So I don't think we can kill this other child very easily.
She's our problem to deal with. I hope that I can somehow instill a little bit of humanity in her. A little bit.
You only need a little. Little goes a long way.
Nonetheless, please be sure to at least take what you desire first on the offering.
Anybody else gonna throw down?
I just don't know what I want because I don't have a store, so...
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty fair. Why don't you have the builder, Brad?
Because we had the builder when I was in the first campaign Ken did, and then I rebuilt my computer and never...
Alright, so we could do that later then. And so after choosing your gifts and such, Faircax stands up, his towering size almost boggling, especially being this close to him now. We mustn't waste any time. At this point, he goes and waves. Please, bring in the general. At this point, you can see this very tall, tan man. His body seems very, very weather-beaten. Doesn't seem to be a single scar on him, but you could see from his armor alone the amount of scrapes, scratches, marks, and dents that this man has been through. Plenty of battles for his time.
Ah, yes. He fought in the Great Clone Wars.
And then Order 66 happened. But he denied it. He overwrote his programming.
So, Argent, are we just going to return after we deal with the demon woman? So we could get more details on this plan he was talking about? Or what do you all want to do?
I thought what we were going to do is we were going to take the general, make a brief detour, kidnap the lizard man, bring him, after we questioned him, give him back to the city guard for them to torture him for all the information they wanted, and we were going to take the general and the crazy demon woman back to our city.
Okay, yes, that all seems fine. That's a lot.
That was a lot.
Yes, no time to waste, as he said.
Let's go.
General?
I hope you don't mind flying, but seeing how you got here probably by that, I'm sure you'll be more than happy.
I don't know.
I don't think it could be much worse than a boat.
Boats are fun.
Well, they aren't.
How long have you been on a boat?
3 months.
So have you, Brad. Far longer, actually.
I've been on a boat for far too long.
It's true.
I show him my uneventful boat tattoo.
It's an anchor.
Just an anchor that says anal on it.
These are the bottom of the sea.
Oh, snap.
Why does the tattoo say anal? It was what was planned for me. Don't bring up the terrible past.
They were gonna put canal, but they ran out of ink.
They were
Brought out a weapon called Donut Puncher.
No!
What's that for?
Bend over and find out. So,
Flying on what exactly?
Probably beetles.
Gliders?
the beetles that we so proudly use.
All right.
As he leads out to one of the terraces on the main palace, you can see one of the larger beetles. This one seemingly covered in what looks like to be silver armor plates. As the one of the wings lift up, and you can see the inside is hollowed out. I hope you don't mind, but it's definitely one of the safer ways to travel with large groups.
We're a little fast on foot, but I won't argue with a speedy transit.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll fill you in on the lore later, Rossi, if you want. I'm good at lore shotguns.
Ooh.
That's alright, Josh records it all, I can just rewatch that bit.
It's true. That's the nice thing of having an audio playback.
Alright, boys, pile into the Beetle aircraft carrier.
Do you ever use these beetles in times of war? Can they attack?
Quite viciously, as he points to the horns that clearly have what looks like blades attached to the tusks.
Sweet.
The
So
ve-
they protect, they attack.
Yes. And they send him back.
Yeah.
So, General, I hope you don't mind. We're going to do a little bit of a detour before we head on over to the city. We need to capture somebody.
I would definitely be for that. Need something a little more entertaining than just maintaining the guards' orders. At this point, you can see him saddle up on the back of the head as you pile in. So where will we be intervening for the time?
We'll need to be somewhere near the Pearled City's entrance. We'll basically need to be able to see it. We're looking for a scout that's going to be leaving sometime soon.
Oh, very well. Hold on tight. At this, he quickly gives one sharp tug, and you hear the same word that you remember, Melnak, for the beetle that you had, and it just immediately, just the loudest, you take off. Feels like a quick jerk as you kind of catch yourselves on the stomach of the inside of the beetle. And in just a few seconds, you can see the city walking away into the distance as the general starts flying this hollowed out beetle in the other direction towards the Pearled City. As you just see the desert below with the rolling sands, as well as what seems to be a sandstorm rolling in towards the walking city itself. It only reaches up to about the waist of the Titanic form. So, after what seems to be a few minutes, you finally start to see the Pearled City from a distance. As you see on the horizon, it starts to be brought down a little bit closer and getting closer to the ground, just so it's not immediately brought to their attention. The beetle carrying the group. As the general goes to maintain what seems like a slow hover above the sands, and continuing coasting forward at a slower pace, now more of a what would seem to be a little bit faster than a horse's.
Wow.
So
This is the way to travel, General.
there's no other better way.
Yes, we're going to be on the
Sure,
lookout
why make one.
for the Lizardmen
Alright.
envoy, right?
We just gotta pay attention to what this man says when we fucking lay.
Yeah. Okay, so, now that we know a distinct weakness, what else do we want to learn from the Lizardmen envoy? I can get 3 questions per session. And they have to be a question. You can't lie. Anybody have any ideas?
Well, we got a lot of our questions answered, I feel, from the leader of how we can get into Galena's.
I guess we could always double check with him.
Yeah.
He might know things that even he didn't.
Yes, very true. And since he's definitely not going to be living, we can ask him anything.
So, as you watch the horizon
Any bad? I can't.
What?
But I can't form the thought that I need to form. It's pissing me off.
On thought.
Oh, by the way, Nick, there you go.
Oh, damn. It's a fucking pimp-looking ring.
It is a jank ring, yeah. Can I have a jank ring? Yeah.
So, as you look over the horizon, you could see a few mixed groups of people going in and out. What looks like other gnolls, small caravans of orcs and such coming in and out. You do see a small group of UNT entering into the city. Some that are definitely half snake going down, and others that are walking bipedal upright. Seems for a good while as the sun starts to hang a little lower in the sky, and finally you see exactly what you were looking for start riding out of the city on what looks like a camel.
Oh, there's our man. Well, lizard. I don't actually know its gender from this distance.
As for the lizard folk riding out, you can see that it seems to follow the route where everyone's traveling for a little bit before finally you see he breaks away and seems to be traveling further south after breaking past the distance where most people would be able to keep an eye on him, going towards the rockier crags and cliffs in that direction.
Perhaps we could do a flyby.
I can try to knock him out.
General, have you seen the movie Top Gun?
No, but I like the sound of it. Yes.
Yes, if you could get us closer to him so that Argentier can work some magic.
I don't know, actually, if the candle of enshrouding would actually fully enshroud the beetle. That'd be pretty fucking cool, but it's only 10 feet of the candle.
Yeah, this beetle's actually a little bit larger, unfortunately.
I wanted to have the stealth aircraft carrier pull up.
I mean, these beetles are probably rare, but still an occurrence in the desert, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure the one's fully armored with blades.
At a distance, he's not gonna.
They're just gonna assume it's like the shine of an iridescent shell, which these creatures definitely have. So,
Alright, well. Drive.
alright. So, as you tell the general, you could see him quickly encroaching on the camel. You could see that the lizard had definitely noticed and started heading towards the more rockier crags and is quickly trying to ride. As you could tell, seems to be a slight amount of panic, but also just trying to keep distance from just the creatures of the land.
Well, I have a reach of 100 feet, so...
So, he's just getting just near some of the rocky edges, but none that really appear to be enterable at this point. As you finally get close enough where you're about 80 feet out, and you could see that the lizard folk riding on the back is looking back repeatedly, kind of has a worried look and pulls out what looks like a small hand crossbow. Definitely smaller size, probably in relevance to the one that you fought before with the blow dart gun, but seems to pull out the hand crossbow at the ready with this small skull mask.
Sleep. Well, I mean, Provided he doesn't try to do anything else to save his ass, he makes a saving throw at a -5.
Alrighty.
Well, actually, I mean, I have to try to hit him first. I mean,
Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
alright, does a 24 hit as well?
Yeah. Jesus Christ, yeah, that is. Alright. So, he immediately... You see him, like, kind of groggily as he kind of, like, tries to point the crossbow just to keep at the ready as your spell hits him. You could see him trying to hold up the crossbow, and then finally he just drops it and it disappears into the sands behind him as the camel starts to come to a slow stop as he's just kind of slumped against the back of it now.
That camel should be sleeping too. Have that camel roll that saving throw.
Alright.
That camel.
Camel, you motherfucker!
Nice.
How funny would it be if the camel made it? No. He's one off, so.
No camel shall
Don't they
ever.
fall asleep for just 6 seconds? So we should probably like hurry.
It's slow. Well, I mean, he can make a saving throw each round, but right now, he's unconscious on the ground, so we can make a lot of coverage.
Right.
So,
I'll tell the general to floor it.
yeah. So the general just kicks it, fly up to another 80 feet. Yeah, so you would actually be just about on top of him as you all hop out. Let me just roll one more time.
Kashi, put these on him, I give you adamantine shackles.
Sweet.
Adamantine shackle.
So it's
He takes no penalty for the second one.
It's like no penalty for the second one. All right. So yeah, the camel's asleep on the ground. He's let's see. As you get close, the sand kind of brushing over him and all the noise, you see him immediately like eyes shoot wide open as he sits up. He just goes to stand up immediately.
Don't move. You see these gloves on my hand?
At this point,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say you see him like feeling around for a knife, and clearly it fell off at some point when he fell asleep on the camel.
These are called gorilla gloves. I'm going to tear you apart if you try to resist. Can I intimidate him?
Yeah, roll an intimidate with a +4.
Sick.
So at this point, you could see him like feeling around as he leans further and further back against the jagged rocks. You could tell there's definitely you could tell the sheer panic on his face that he knows there's absolutely no resisting at this point. So he
I'll go
I'm
into
not really
grab him.
paying attention to what they're doing. I'm actually just gonna keep the watch.
So you're keeping watch. At this point, you could see him panic, and then immediately grab his satchel, turn, and try and throw it up onto the jagged rocks.
I mean, you can throw it up there all you want. We can climb there easily.
We also have a flying beetle, dude.
He's just in panic. He doesn't know what to do. But yeah, it soars up there. You can see it just gets kind of snagged on the jagged rocks above.
Are you quite finished? And I grab him.
No! No! No!
I'm gonna donkey punch him.
Oh God!
Whoa.
Go ahead.
What's a donkey punch? Is it like a punch to the dick?
No.
It's basically when you're like pile driving a woman from behind, and then suddenly when she turns around, you just go to her face.
Okay.
No, a donkey punch is a punch to the back of the head to make them tighten up. That's what it is.
That's such a weird.
Something new every day. All right, go ahead. Roll it.
I don't exactly know what my bonus is, but what
Just
do
roll
you?
a weapon attack, I guess.
Yeah.
Why not? It's probably close enough.
It would be anyway. Just,
All right.
strike
so
about
just
half level.
okay.
Gee. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll the damage for that. It's just...
Okay. So was it D3 plus strength or something?
It should be D4 plus strength.
All right.
Alright, so as you literally just knock him right across the face, he just falls down and he just holds up his hands.
Yes, that's right. The easy way is much more preferable, and I slap the cuffs on his wrists.
You can see he wants to say something, but he is just absolutely refusing at this point.
Oh, save your breath. You're gonna be answering questions. Come over here. I have someone for you to meet. Come. And I drag him through the rocks and dirt.
No!
Over to Argent.
Hi there, I'm the one that knocked you out. How are you doing? Good for you.
I immediately push his face down into the dirt hard when he bits on Argent.
Hey, Velnak, do you want to go get the bag that he threw up there?
Sure, man.
Okay, so I haven't exactly tried this before. I mean, I've heard it's kind of scary, but let's give it a try. And I refocus to rending fear of Karade.
Jesus Christ.
That sounds so awesome. Sounds like a spell you'd learn in some forgotten lich dungeon in a black grimoire.
It's actually a warlock utility spell.
Oh, sick.
Fucking Christ.
So, Argent begins to knit their fingers together faster and faster, and as they begin to do this, their skin begins to blacken and their eyes turn to blue flames. They gaze directly at him.
Oh, shit.
His skin becoming blacker and more covered in charcoal, then fire spreads across the fingers as I grab him across the shoulders and bring my face right up towards him and look directly into his eyes.
Fucking Christ.
Well, I mean, hey, it forces them to answer 4 questions. I feel like it has to be pretty scary.
Oh yeah, it's just fucking sheer terror on this lizard fuck's face.
I'm trying to... just 1 second, I'm trying to...
Remember the questions.
Remember, no, I'm trying... Why didn't we put that fucking woman's name into here? Am I retarded?
What, Galena?
Yeah, Galena. Why did I not put her in here? I was looking at the list of people. What is the easiest way to where Galena sleeps?
Stairs. Straight through the main hall. And in the back.
Telepathically ask Keshi. What else should I ask him?
Ask him maybe what time or day would be the best, where her defenses would be the weakest.
What time of day is Galena the least guarded and most vulnerable to be killed?
At this point, you can see him trying not to say anything, but it's just the amount of fear and the power coursing through him from you is just fucking making this lizardman fucking melt under you.
Just before morning and dark.
Just before the morning and just before the dark. Okay. That's interesting. Dawn and dusk. Okay.
Weren't we gonna ask something about the caves where I assume he was headed?
We were just going to have the guy torture that out of him because these questions, like, I couldn't ask 4 questions of absolute truth. It would take way too long for me to get him to give me a map.
Yeah, no, that's cool. You can do it that way.
Does Galena have any contacts with the non-rogue elements of the lizard folk tribes?
She has many tribes everywhere. Always bringing slaves.
Okay, so she's well connected. If nobody else has any other suggestions, I have a good capstone. Anybody else? Telepathically?
Can't think of anything.
Rossi?
Yep.
Okay. What is Galena's greatest weakness?
Her pride and vanity.
Just need to scar her face. That's it.
And with that, the charcoal fades and the flame recedes and Arjun is back to normal.
A trap once more.
You could just see the lizard man like fucking mentally drained from the literal interrogation of the magic, and just kind of like slumps back, trying to keep as far back from Argent as possible.
Well, I went and had gotten this guy's nutsack that he threw on top of the.
Yes, you do. As you kind of take it out, you could see scrolls for what looks like to be actually 3 different locations.
Have scrolls for 3 different locations.
Wow. I didn't expect forbidden magic to feel so good. Well, I guess let's take him back to the city and drop him off for his new life.
Very well.
Well, let's tie him up a little bit better. I don't want him moving around.
Give it!
I have a pretty good grip on him, and those adamantine shackles.
He's still just flailing around like a mad lizard.
He's flailing pretty well. Are you sure that won't affect the flying beetle?
I punch him in the back of the head again.
Also,
I would have paid money if I knew we were having it.
I pull a white vial out of my bag. This is magical glue. It is almost impossible to unstick once it sets. I can pour this into your mouth if you want to keep screaming.
At this, you could just see him snap his mouth shut as he just like goes completely still, staring at you.
That's what I thought.
Yes, best to not tempt Argent to dive into her bag of tricks. You don't want to know what's in there.
You could just hear an audible gulp as these like eyes are locked on the weird substance before. If a lizard man could sweat, he would be sweating bullets right now.
Alright, well, I guess, General, let's head on back.
I definitely said it was an entertaining show.
We like to get creative.
I can appreciate that. Sure, the follow-up will be just as entertaining. At this, you can see he, as you bring in the lizard man, you can see him kind of give a small kick, and out of the sets of wings, the one set seemingly kind of folds down and kind of keeps him in there for the time.
Oh, damn, it comes with restrainer seats.
Well, unless you need a lift, I think I'll return. Unless you want to make a grand entrance into the city. As the general looks down to all of you. Oh, shit.
Hey, can you hear me?
Ah, there you are.
That was so bizarre.
Yeah, fucking Discord just shit out entirely.
I did turn it off.
I switched it over to the East server.
I just turned it off. Turned it back on. That's how I fixed it.
Or did you? Because I switched it anyway.
I mean, that's how I fixed it from mine. But...
No, Brad, it was because of me, damn it. You guys are fucking terrifyingly good at interrogations.
So now I don't have to interrogate. Maybe it's at like 2.
If you keep screaming, I'll glue your fucking mouth shut. Oh.
I mean, if we glue his mouth shut, I guess we won't get any information out of him. So, you know, it's a one-way street, really.
Brad, I mean, come on. Do you want your mouth shut? Nobody wants that.
I mean, I can't even, like, get my dick in there.
That's why nostrils, Brad. Nostrils.
Now she knows. Caressing tears. I don't care about that. Here's a denial.
I went to go get a glass of water. I'm back now.
Welcome back!
I can see we're missing a Roz.
Yes, a raw Australian.
I cannot believe how it always cuts out during game time.
I don't know why. It's just, you know, they feel like doing it every goddamn Tuesday.
Well, it's just like, it's so fucking weird. It's happened on the Wednesday game too. It's just like, I play games like all night sometimes with people, and like it never cuts out. Then during D&D, it's like, oh, the internet's dying, Discord's trying to kill you.
You know what my best guess is, and it sounds retarded? Wow.
We're too cool.
I bet.
Really think?
Well, because Tuesday's reset night, so everyone rushes to get shit done and then plays it in the reset for the raids.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I guess he must be going to drop off the save.
Didn't do what I wanted to do while I was there. It's retarded.
What?
As I
Yeah.
play my
That's a-
things on the side to maintain why not sleepy boy habits.
They're probably gonna go on fucking high alert after, this guy's fucking missing.
Oh,
just his camel.
that's true. The camel is still there.
I killed the camel.
Yeah,
Good
I
on
was
you.
I was thinking just I don't really like killing animals, but Velnak, you should definitely shoot that camel.
Camel
Today.
dead.
Maybe we could make it. Maybe we could have the beetle eat it and make it look like it was eaten by, well, beetles.
I could shoot it and then the beetle can eat it in the
but there's
place
no-
that I shot it.
But there's no dead lizard man body. Why would?
Well, obviously, lizard men must taste great.
He's pretty small. I mean, he could be slurped up and one.
Or maybe they taste bad and he got a tummy ache and he didn't eat all the camel
Huh.
because his tummy hurt.
Yeah, that is a good point. General, can you make the beetle like chomp down on that camel?
Oh.
Kill
Oh.
it first. Jesus.
We need a. It's less questions that way. If it looks like he was just killed en route by like an animal or something.
He'll gnaw on it, but I don't think he'll swallow any of it. And he kind of brings the beetle over. Camel's still asleep. You effectively just
Aw.
see a coup de grace as the beetle just bites into the neck. You just hear. Effectively sounds like a whole bunch of flower pots breaking at once.
Well, that's probably close enough. At least with the beetles, the wounds from the beetle on it, they'll think it was a wild animal attack.
He kind of drags it and then flings it, and then it just lands in the sand not too far.
Yeah, that's good. So, General, you aren't coming back with us to our city?
I could definitely drop you off not too far from the entrance, but I think it would be a little odd being dropped off by one of the flying beetles.
At our city?
Possibly. Oh,
Like,
to your
you-
city. I thought you were speaking of the Pearl City.
oh, I don't want to go back there. That place is awful. I never had so many people try to sell me other human beings.
I would definitely enjoy seeing your culture. You seem to have some interesting equipment.
Mm-hmm. Your leader didn't tell you, Mister. Let me roll up the fucking chats and I can see his name again.
The general's name, he never gave it.
No, Faircax. Did he not tell you? And never mind. Let's just go back to your city. We can arrange for that.
Yeah, everyone hop in. As the wing lifts up and you could see the lizard man sees you all approaching and just quickly goes to the back end.
He knows where to sit.
If there was a definition of fear, this would be as you could see him literally like curl up into a ball into the tightest corner possible. As the wing shuts, you can see the general starts to head off. There seems to be what looks like a small glint of a possible crystal in the headpiece of the beetle. After taking flight, you can see it shifting colors.
Oh, my Discord keeps crashing.
Damn you, Discord! Stop fucking with us.
Being a piece of shit tonight.
That it is. It's always a fucking asshole. Just to us on this night. The fuck?
It killed Skype, and now it has become Skype.
It's become Skype net. What? The gem on the front of the headpiece of the beetle that seems to alight now.
Did I hear the word that he said to,
Oh, to drop?
down?
Yes, you definitely.
Oh, I commit that to memory.
Alright. Yeah, so you definitely pay attention very carefully to what he's saying for the commands to get the beetle to rise and fall and to land. So I feel like you actually know how to control the beetle perfectly now.
Yes. We now have our own mount. We will mount it later.
You see Raziel in the back hissing and like occasionally batting at the legs of the lizard man.
Raziel wants to be an interrogator too.
At this point, you could just hear the lizard man in his shackles like, "Ha! Ha! No! Go away! Go away!" But in the distance, as you can see, the gem changing slight colors for the direction it's heading. You definitely get the sense that between the small farmhouse and the city itself, that they may be able to discern to which location they're heading to, but judging by the resonating color of the crystal.
It's primitive GPS. Pretty nifty.
As you come closer to the walking city once more, you can see a few of the soldiers eagerly awaiting for you to come back and land. You can see a large escort ready for your fellow traveler. As the general lands, he's like, "Don't worry, boys. These guys, they definitely know what they're doing." As the wing opens up, and you can see the lizard folk is still kind of tucked in tight, wide-eyed, looking around. At this point, you can see all the other soldiers quickly approach as you step off and go in and quickly grab the chains and start dragging them out. No! Get off me! As he's just like literally flailing and kicking. Two other guards come over, one each grabs an ankle and just starts dragging him away.
Yeah, can I have those shackles back when you get a chance? They're made of really expensive material.
And I want it back!
The general comes over. Oh, alright, once we get him situated in his new housing, we'll definitely return it to you.
And good, they cost an arm and a leg according to normal people's standards.
Huh? Depends on what they're made of, but can't imagine it'd be that expensive.
It's just, it's hard to get the material, so it's a little expensive.
Nonetheless, come. We should have a nice drink and meal together before we set out. Riding that long gets a little tiring.
Yeah, I suppose so. I wasn't the one driving.
Nonetheless, it's nice to know that we have at least future friends in this prospect.
Yeah, Gliffin's gonna be overjoyed to meet you people.
What do you mean, you people? No.
What do you mean?
Oh, we're gonna say, what do you mean, you people? After I've been called, you know.
I mean, like, you know, your entire race. He was certain that we were all alone on this continent. You actually look a lot like the humans from back home. Except for you're a lot taller.
Well, a good portion of us are fairly tall, but that's because so many of us have the Lord's blood with us.
Interesting.
Oh, Faircax is definitely the older. But the one who keeps this city moving is definitely took his fair share of wives. He definitely outlasted most of them, but needless to say, he keeps a more private life now.
He spread that good blood.
You spread something. Sounds to be more like batter from a certain nozzle. I usually call it the pancake nozzle.
I'm surprised the Queen of Sacrifice's daughter didn't find us while we were out. She's usually really good at finding us.
Probably just literally flying right behind us and we're just really dumb. We've also haven't looked either.
I figured she would have yelled at us for ignoring her all day.
I feel if she wants to talk to us, we would know.
One of the Queen's children come to this city? No. That would definitely be the most ludicrous thing of all. Many of them fear these cities.
That's what I want. I want her there.
Many of them fear these titans.
Well, they certainly are big.
It's been quite some time since I've had a vigorous skirmish with one of the children's cities. I prefer not to have to face more of them again anytime soon.
No. This is just one we met by happenstance. Not connected to anything else.
Sounds like one of the youngers.
Yeah, Ferrex was telling us about that.
The youngers, they still have their fair share of power, but they have no armies to speak of. I know it definitely roils their blood plenty when you bring it up.
Alright. We'll never bring this up. Ever.
And note to self, do not mention. Underline twice.
Nonetheless, one of those children, I actually saw one of the old generals take down before I became a general myself. Definitely a battle and a half. The aftermath was gruesome.
Yeah, I'd heard that throughout all the wars you'd only ever managed to kill 5.
We killed 1. The other 4 was from other cities. The children have learned very quickly after that not to usurp powers greater than them. After that, they learned from their mother, and they've been in hiding and planning since.
I mean, she seems well enough. Her interests are weird.
Well enough for one of the Queen of Sacrifice's children. That's the first thing I've heard in a long time. It sounds like some shit.
Well, I mean, she was listening to reason. I told her not to eat the hearts of people that aren't her enemy. I was kind of surprised.
I'll believe it when I see it. Other than that, let's just get a drink on that. Yeah, I'll be more than happy to listen to these fanciful tales of getting these sons and daughters to have feelings.
Josh, do I feel like how it was before the daughter clicked her little fingers and...
This? No.
Okay.
I feel like this is gonna be like a Beauty and the Beast type thing.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I figured she'd probably put her scrying back on sooner or later.
In the city itself, you do distinctly feel, if you pay attention to it, it's definitely warded.
Okay.
I figured as much.
Oh yeah, no, I felt that these nerds would be warded.
It's a giant titan that helps seal the Red King. Of course it's gonna have some Mondo magical defenses.
As the general leads you into what seems kind of like a dining hall. You can see one of the soldiers comes back with your shackles, Arjun.
Oh, thank you.
Gives a quick bow and starts to head back out.
Are the shackles like? Do they have blood on them?
Oh, there's definitely blood on them.
Nice.
Prestidigitation it off onto the floor.
I don't want that shit on my...
I have no mercy for lizardmen. Fuck them.
Fuck them all. But so, as the general starts having food brought out, do you wish to wait until we're finished with the interrogation, or do you intend to head back to the Pearled City soon?
I felt we'd touch base before we went back there anyway, so I don't really particularly care if you don't.
I definitely do not mind, and it's more than welcoming to have fresh new faces. Especially ones that are seeking help and to help us.
Yeah, like I said, our leader Glyphon will be probably the happiest I've ever seen him, and I know that there's such a large civilization of like-minded people.
Unfortunately, we'll have to say we are the only ones.
Well, you're one. It's a start.
Oh. If you had to find any other allies, you probably most likely find it in the roaming orcs and a few other slaves that unfortunately have been kept under heel by many of the snake lords. I know the giants have their fair share of anger to share with the rest of the lizard folk and serpents.
One step at a time. One step at a time.
So, as the food gets set out, you can see there's a definite, distinct difference between the foods that you've been seeing around the lands and even in the Pearled City that was offered. As you study it, some of it seems almost eerily fluorescent and vibrant and beautiful, and in itself, it almost seems like the city is just obsessed with the prospect of even making their food beautiful as much as the city is beautiful.
I don't think I've ever seen food so beautifully cultivated. Are you sure you employ cooks and not artists?
It's definitely really invigorating if you have exerted yourself magically far too much. But I don't rely on too much of that myself. I think physical prowess is a little more reliable than purely arcane. Definitely.
Yeah, I come
has its
from-
place, though.
Yeah, I come from one of the bigger wizard towers overseas. People there definitely work to the bone.
Oh, we definitely have plenty of people here increasing the rate at which food grows, but it gets exhausting. At this point, you can see he picks up this. You think it's a pear, but it's almost like a very vibrant purple blue. So it almost like assaults the eyes just to look at this color, as that's bright. And when he bites into it, it's a very strange red center.
I mean, I guess I'll eat some. This sounds like the most terrifying meal ever. It's just like, what is this?
Am I about to die when I eat this? Let's find out.
1, 2, 3.
So
I seem to have expired.
you respectively grab your own fruit. This one seems to have just kind of mixtures of what looks like almost like a purplish black, but with a very deep red hue going around it. As you just kind of sink your teeth and bite into the center, you get hit with a very distinct sense of sweet and tart at the same time. As you kind of look in, and it almost would look like blood, but almost comparable to what seems like very tart raspberries as well. It's definitely one of the more sour fruits you've ever tried.
Wow, that sounds like a really fucking weird flavor. It's like drinking. It's like eating a soda. Minus the carbonation. So do you... Where does all this even come from?
Oh, we definitely have agriculture domes not too far from the palace promenade. We keep the palace on the further towards the back and more on the left side, and many of the other terraces that maintain the farms and other foods and such further on the right. I take it you don't have such foods in your lands.
No.
Oh, no. It's kind of weird to say, but I'd say our food has about half the flavor of yours.
Also, not this colorful, and I feel like I'm eating a person. Like
Yeah, the only thing we really have that's red insides is meat. It's a little disturbing.
Really? Our meats are yellow, but well.
Wait, what?
Yellow? What the fuck? Excuse me?
Are you
Yeah,
growing
bro,
meat
can I
too?
see
Go
this yellow meat?
One guess and say it's the amber.
Can I see this yellow meat? I wish to see it.
Are you
Please.
eating amber meat?
Very well. As he kind of like snaps his finger and completely, bring some of the better cuts. So, as one of the maids go out, you can see that after a while they bring out this platter as they open it up. You're not sure what animal this was, but everything's very finely cut, sorted out into rows like somebody just diced up some meat and then placed it out layer by layer. In the middle is just very, very distinct flower arrangement, just to kind of give a little more style to it. As you kind of look at it, he says yellow, and it looks like gold as it
What
glistens.
the fuck?
And as it glistens from the light.
I'm afraid to eat this. I'm gonna eat it.
I mean, so where's the golden animal?
I could probably sell this for a killing.
I think
This is ridiculous.
well, you can go ahead and try it first before I tell you that.
Oh, we're already eating it. We're going in.
Yeah, the elves are going in.
The elves hold no,
Alright, so...
Will I die? Are you about to tell me that I'm dead?
It's a very, very interesting texture. As it's soft and a little bit of grit, just enough where it's satisfying to chew. And it just kind of melts as you feel like all the juices flow out, almost like if it had soup infused to it.
Soup infused to it. Hot damn.
You get just mixtures of sweet and salt as well. Almost like it's been seasoned in that factor to itself as well. As you just kind of feel this go down your throat slowly, it just feels like it's melting all the way down. Which after that you just feel like the warmest sensation flowing through your body. Just absolute comfort.
Comfort food.
This is amazing. What animal did you kill to make this?
Those are specially fed grubs that grow in very prominent sizes.
Fucking grubs. I'm out.
Wait, a grub can taste this good?
They've definitely been altered over the years, but they've definitely come out surprisingly well from what we've expected.
These grubs. What do they eat?
Well, other fruits and vegetable wastes that we haven't used. Anything that kind of goes off, and generally anything that goes bad.
Because I almost might be willing to pay you just so we can get started, have something to start raising our own. I'm not sure how effective that would be. But
I would definitely welcome the exchange, and if we can grow them even faster and keep in the trade, then I would be more than happy to see what we could set up between our people on that matter.
Yeah, because
we'll probably.
I've
more
never
food
tasted
anyways.
something this good. And everybody else comes from where I come from.
By the way, next time you wake up, anyone who eats this meat will get a D10 temp health, and also have advantage save on or not, get a reroll for saving throws against poison effects.
It's some good ass fucking meat. Of course, they somehow found a way to make the meat gold.
Fucking making the meat gold.
Back where I'm from, you would make a killing selling this.
Like, seriously.
Well, it would definitely be an interesting exchange, then. I imagine if you definitely not experienced these kind of things, that what we trade would be definitely very different.
Yes, it would.
Of course, the lords that built the city up on the Titan long ago. And definitely had an eye for the more exuberant, but since those days have well passed, we keep a little more modest, but definitely many people have enjoyed more of the finer silks that we can, if we can find any.
Find silks? Do you just... Where are you finding silks?
Well, generally, when we found the grubs first, they did produce quite magnificent and sturdy silks. The ones that we keep now for food unfortunately don't produce silk anymore, but we definitely know where in the jungle to find the ancestor of such insects to collect upon.
Oh, okay. I was worried you had yet another strange source of amazing goods.
No, just the amber that we usually use to keep everyone from falling too out of water and any possible injuries. Unfortunately, working on top of a walking city is fairly dangerous at times, and if she does rock, then sometimes things do fall over and people get a broken arm or a leg. But enough worries on those matters. Time to rejoice and anticipate the good words in the morning.
Yeah, we shouldn't even take us that long to get back.
Of course not.
Especially not now.
Of course, I would definitely ask to have you stay in the guest areas for now. The Lord doesn't get too happy when people roam around the palace freely without having an eye kept on them. Although, understandably, though, he doesn't want people messing with any of the historical pieces.
Yeah, I'll have to come back later and get to walk around some myself. It sounds like a lot of what you have might be as old as recorded history.
So, as the reverie continues, later in the night when the sun's pretty well and gone and the night's set in, you can see the different, what seems almost like arcane rivers in a way, flowing around, and you can tell this is the concentrated magic that seems to be flowing about the city in itself, just continuously empowering this Titan as it strolls through the desert.
It's very pretty and very terrifying that something can supply that level of power.
Still gonna be on this fucking golden meat thing, man.
Yeah, there's definitely still plenty left on the platter.
I mean,
We're still eating. I'm not done.
in Velnak haven't eaten for several weeks because we have special belts.
That's true. So now
I gotta keep going.
So you just stuff in your gob. But after you're led to one of the guest rooms, it's a little odd comparatively. This area seems very open, even though there's still clearly, posts and chests to kind of set your gear and other pieces. A few weapon racks to just set pieces down. Most of the beds seem to be large pillows in themselves that you could just lay or flop onto. Though looking around, you can tell very distinctly there's no guards or anyone else around.
Must resist the urge to go and sneak around. I stick out too much like a sore thumb if I did it.
There's nobody at all, though.
I mean, I don't even know where Arjun. Yeah, nah. Arjun isn't gonna try this time.
Alright. So.
The only thing I'd want to do is go read books, which isn't really the stealthiest thing you can do. Is I'd be sitting there looking down,
Reading a book.
mm-hmm.
Just like, nothing will happen to me.
So, as you bed down and resist your urge, with the morning rising, you can hear from the main entry of the hall, the general and walking in, as you can see he stops clearly a good distance away from the main curtains of the area of what would be considered your room. Are you all decent? The Lord has some good news to share with all of you.
He got us grubs!
Alright,
Oh, that's all I'm
I
about
guess
right now.
everybody put on your clothes. It's not like I really took off my clothes. I mean, I don't really.
No, yeah, I'm always strapped and ready.
Clothes?
Flora's been naked this whole time.
As per the usual, Keshi's the only remotely normal person.
How dare she be normal and sleep like a person?
What would you even consider as good news? It's already
Good
going
news!
well.
I heard he got the slime flowing again.
It's true. Arcane slime.
The slime must flow.
Get in there, Valnak. Come on.
I get in there.
It's not gonna come on its own face.
I get in there. He dove right in. No one's ever dove right in before.
It wasn't
What do we
ready.
do?
Come harder. No. Fucking. Goddamn.
Alright.
As Lord Faircax walks in, you could see a wide grin on his face. I can definitely say I was not expecting to have such a useful pawn from what you've collected the other day, but with the scrolls and the information, we could definitely put an end to the gnolls and the lizard men taking advantage of our farms. But we've also learned that Galena has been sending out most of her entourage recently, trying to collect more favor among the other tribes.
This is good news. She will be even less unguarded.
Exactly. Being able to strike at night, we'd definitely be able to spare a few of the beetles that are a little past their prime. It'll be a sad send-off for some of them, but the animated bodies are far beyond use at this point other than distraction. We'd be able to hold the attention of the golems outside the temple entryway, and you'll be able to slip in unnoticed as they think we're just trying to make a swift assault, though pitiful in appearance, as they'll, well, be walking around in smug pride far too much to notice that the head of their snake will be far beyond gone before they even notice.
I can't initiate the hot telepathic speakings, right? I have to wait till somebody talks to me. Correct?
Yeah, I guess. Or you could just talk out loud. I don't know what you're
No. I don't want to just talk. That's heresy.
Well, I will say to the man,
I'm super worried about that.
as long as it doesn't bring the wrath of all the various snake people tribes upon you all, you said there was some sort of agreement.
Oh, yes.
This won't be seen as an attack?
No, just the rebuttal. As long as we don't send a full-out army.
Ah, they are cool skirmishes and whatnot.
Exactly.
They like a little punch.
I do believe this night mission might not go as well as I would like.
Why is that, Felnak?
I do not like. So she's afraid of this city. She's not afraid of the other city.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
The daughter.
She hates them, though.
I know, but we're trying to do a night off of stealth. Her visit might
tell
not
her
be
that if she
stealthy.
doesn't make too much noise, she can cut her head off.
I'm sure she would cherish that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
You definitely remember that she threatened the daughter beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Is that she hates them enough that I could probably be like, hey, it's a greater chance we get to kill her if you just, be quiet for most of this operation. Then, you can personally torture her and decapitate her.
You can fist her. You can do whatever you want. Shove anything in her. It's fine.
Pancakes.
She's 100% all yours as long as she dies.
An all-you-can-eat buffet. You know what I mean?
Of pain.
All you can fuck buffet.
Here comes the pain train. Here comes
Oh, God.
the pain train.
Oh god, am I about to die?
Pancake.
Ooh. Oh, I'm getting a cramp in my right leg. Oh, I might as well cut it off. I'm serious. Oh my god.
While Bradley severs his main artery. And the main worries that anyone would have to actually know where your city is, and considering none of us have been able to find it, I think you might be better off than most. And if this daughter is truly there with you, maybe with a little bit of luck, they'll assume that one of the runts managed to find a band just long enough to cause a disruption.
When do we strike?
Well, depends on which you would prefer. From our understanding, it would be dusk or dawn as best times.
Yes. So, dusk.
Very well.
Have your Beetleborgs ready.
And if this goes,
I prefer to drop down on her from a higher point.
So that you may.
Someone might
reach
say
her.
the high ground. And I would wish to say hello.
Hello there.
Hello there.
very well.
If Josh played the song from, I think it's the Phantom Menace, when they see Darth Maul for the first time, and 1v1 him.
Oh god, Duel of the Fates.
Oh. Oh God.
Oh, God. Very well. I'll make sure my men are ready and that we have a proper transport to slip you to the back of the temple near the walls while the guardians are disrupted. Do not forget, though, after we drop you off, we'll not be able to help you other than get you away from the city through the river exit.
Yes, we'll take the well as our exit.
Is that well been gone, like visited recently?
The river has definitely not dried up, and we have definitely kept tabs on our own
I'm
temple.
just, I don't know what shit's been thrown down there.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, before I forget, cap of water breathing, cap of water breathing, cap of water breathing.
Ah, yes. We adorn our caps. Oh, water breathing. Oh.
I mean, I don't. Actually, I still kind of want to wear my telepathy helmet. I'll put it on when we're going.
I mean, I still have my mask of many faces going on right now. You know what I mean?
You can't wear multiple heads a lot of times. Magic items won't allow it. You see, if I try to put on these glasses and this hat, it'll be like one of them will just pop off. Be like, no.
No. That's heresy.
What's that? You're trying to put a mask over your mouth? Does that mask have magic in it? It slides back off. Fuck. Go on.
Alrighty. So, well, I'll leave you to your preparations. If you need anything extra, potions is the most I can offer. I'll be sure to allow access for you.
You have a potion room?
You do not experiment with the arcane without knowing some alchemical to back it up.
I'll have to get a tour of this entire place someday.
After this, I'll be more than willing.
Well, yeah, the thing I'm going to suggest that everybody load up on, potion of spectral form. If we get like majorly fucked and the operation goes to hell, we can just all start running through walls.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Listen, I'm done with this. I'm out.
Like, what are they going to do?
Well, I should...
Sir, he just went through a wall. What the fuck?
Especially if we all like
I'm
split
capable
up.
of consuming such a thing.
Just splash it on your face.
It just splashes on her face. Yeah. It works.
Maybe you just have like a potion receptacle like comes out of your hand and you just like
You have a
it
special...
sucks the magic out.
Oh, I've seen those kind of trays that you can remove and clean. I believe Velnak had one in his room.
Ooh.
Nice.
He has very expensive taste.
Listen, we don't talk about my expensive tea. We just know that it works well.
For your pancake batter.
Yes, my pancake batter. It's a homemade recipe.
Seed sprayer.
Oh, seed sprayer. We haven't talked with those legends for decades.
So,
Okay, can't sing it.
so, as the Lord goes to head back out, he stops just before the main doors. I look forward to seeing you all return.
I also look forward to returning to my golden meat.
So, at this point, he heads out the door, and the general steps forward. And you can see he has an assistant beside him. Like, well, how many potions are you going to possibly need?
All of them.
I'd probably say, can you make the potions that let you run through walls?
Well, we definitely don't keep that in stock of too many of them, but we have some. And definitely don't have much need of them here.
Well, you know, as a speedy escape method, being able to run through a solid wall is pretty good.
Well, the most that we've ever used them is in the catacombs while mining the veins.
So, like, probably 2 of those for each of us if you have enough of that, and probably like 2 healing potions for each of us would probably also be a good idea. I have a whole bunch of them, but...
Well, we would definitely have enough for two spectral forms for each of you, and then healing potions, the most we'd be able to spare is, well, is two each.
Sure.
I would definitely say enjoy your meal and be ready. We're not very sure what else is gathered in that temple.
Say, Kashi, how bad of an idea do you think it is to try to bring her back alive?
Oh, shit.
Probably terrible.
She's too powerful to be kept alive.
Kill her. Do it.
I mean, there's a very long thing that you can do. If you gag her, blind her, put the shackles on her, and you keep her awake through the night so she can't rest. Be good times.
You can't long rest, bitch.
Somebody just like wakes up in shifts and just goes, "Hey, no sleeping on my watch."
Fuck.
Let me sleep. No.
Then you'll get back your daily complement of spells.
Do you have any potions or food?
Fuck you, I will tell you.
Potions or food?
So, as you wait for dusk to start getting close and all the soldiers get ready with the beetles, you can see the
Beetleborgs.
I fucking love that show.
Sorry, my kids have been watching it lately.
So good. Oh god. So as they ready to beetles, you can see some of the ones that are definitely older. Their metal plating is a little more shoddy. The bodies and segments clearly a little more battered and busted. You can see one where the open shell on the back end that's supposed to be closed is wide open, probably from something tearing at it.
Well, this is a mission where they anticipate they're probably going to get shot down, so I don't blame them for pulling out the shitty guns.
So, as they get one that's been, you see that what looks like a younger, more, you would say, acolyte, as he's going around changing the different shades and hues of the metal covering the beetle that you're being escorted to more of a darker color of black. He goes around with prestidigitation and keeps changing it and to have it more of a stealthy approach. At this, you see the general rounding up his soldiers as he goes to mount up on the one that you guys have. Well, I hope you're ready to raise hell or to go to it.
Well, I don't intend on the second one, so we'll do the first one.
It's the best answer. Confidence is key. Don't hesitate when you're in there.
Just a last second question. Do you know if she sleeps?
Well, she's not an immortal. I'd imagine she'd have to eventually.
I mean, I don't actually sleep.
Yeah, neither do I.
You're definitely unique to this land.
Okay, well, if she sleeps, then my favorite spell will also work. Guess we'll have to give it a try.
As the entire troop moves out, you can hear the buzzing. Feels almost deafening until the shell guard kind of comes down. You can see just a bit through the very strange shell. As you see the sun fully go down, you take what seems to be a wide approach towards the Pearled City. You can see the larger beetles being set down and getting closer to where it appears to be behind the main palace that you saw of the city initially. At this point, when you come coasting around a little bit further, you realize that the temple is actually set into the mountain itself and that the entrance is just below. You see two large sentinels that look completely lifeless immediately stir and sit up, covered in gold and in the body that seemed to be made entirely of lapis lazuli. As these gigantic forms start to shift and move, the other beetles that were brought in for a distraction go and land, while the general sweeps around to the back end side of the temple to a small lip where it looks like it comes down from the top of the crags towards the entrance. At this point, you do see the beetles land, and immediately the Titanus constructs immediately start lumbering forward and knocking over one of the pillars, and then knocking over a part of the stone next to one of the braziers that illuminate the main walkway, and just immediately start tearing into these beetles and just making very quick work of some of them as the other ones are quickly brought down as you're set down.
Holy shit.
As you're set down, and the wing opens up and lets you all down to go down the stairway. You can hear the general, "Be quick and don't wait. If you take too long, they'll turn around and go for you next." And at that point, as you rush down the stairs towards the entrance of this main temple, we're gonna leave it off there.
Oh shit.
What a man.
Those are some big fucking boys.
Are those the golems or?
Yep.
Damn.
They look like they'll cut my fucking head off.
They look awesome.
Bodies built of lapis lazuli and armor of gold.
Sweet.
So it's gonna be an all combat next section.
We're gonna be like, Jacques!
Yeah, Jacques Le Bleu, invaders!
I wasn't expecting this to happen that fucking fast. I guess we did kidnap a really good informant.
Well, you did